Whew, that's hard. One, I think that as the scriptures talk about when it says the daughters of Zion are haughty, we think we probably know more. I think that's probably been like the biggest obstacle. You think you know more about yourself. You think you know more about what you need, want, or just you think you know more than what you do. So I would think like the first thing is always going to be like humility. You got to be willing to let yourself be like molded. You have to be willing to let yourself hear about who you are, what you are, so you can change. Because the first thing about making a change is you got to know that you have a problem. And if you don't know you have a problem, you can't change the problem. You can't fix a problem that you don't really know you have, or you don't really believe that you have. So you got to allow yourself to be humble and teachable. So I would say that'll be good. If you have a teachable spirit and you're humble about it, you'll be able to make quicker changes. You got to be willing to, really whoever you're married to, you really got to trust them. Trust the person that you're married to. Believe that, he's following Yah, you make those sort of decisions because Yah's going to lead him in a path to do something, and you got to be willing to be on board to follow his instructions and be that help me for him. And sometimes there are roller coasters, there's different things that change, there's things that you may not be used to. But if you trust that the man that you were with is a man of Yah, then you should be able to follow in his footsteps and prepare to do his vision, no matter what it is. So whether you're in the city, you're used to this, and then there's a change, you should be able to go with him and say, I'm standing with you to do that. So I think that that's a big thing. Lastly, you gotta just prepare yourself to be able to be uncomfortable. Like, I think people get too involved into, they think like marriage and even just walking this faith should be just easy piece of cake. Like everything startled them. I think one of the hardest things with people is we have been Christianized. So, and this is a homesteading / even marriage. It's both because it all helps and pertains to holiness to me, or at least in my aspect, in my life, it has. Because we're Christianized, you think when any little thing go wrong, you are moved. Like it takes you off the vision, off the mission very easily. It's like one conflict, you're like, oh my gosh, you can't handle anything. And then you get put in a position like, so when hard times come, or when a real struggle really comes, how are you going to get through that struggle?
We really need to come together on understanding our Hebrew culture as Israel. We've all been tainted by the world and what the world has taught us on every different subject and every different aspect of our life. But we, as women of Israel, have to come together under the men of authority's leadership to really truly understand our culture, our heritage, how we should carry ourselves. And all of that comes from the leading and guiding of the men. They present it to us, we present it to you. And that's how we expect for it to be carried out. We don't want our children to have to experience the same hurts, pains, troubles in life, and all of these things that we have experienced. So we have to raise up a new pure generation that is not tainted by the world. So in establishing our culture, sometimes it may not be what you're used to, well, that's not my personality or my character. Well, you better get into that character because it's Yah's character, because it comes from the book. And he has a specific way that he wants us to be as women, and a way that he wants us to carry ourselves. And sometimes we use our personalities, we use our mannerisms as ways to not be what the Father would have us to be. Well, that's just not me. Well, the me is the me that is prescribed in the book. So we're going to try to come everything from Scripture that we can, but give you also some of the things that the men of Yah have established for us to do as women. It may be total contrary to what you're taught. We're taught out there in the world to be strong, to be tough, to be independent, and you are all of those things as women. But you're also meek, quiet, lowly, humble, all of those things, and that's really what shows and establishes your strength. You may not realize it, but that is truly what the Father is giving you. That's stronger than being able to pop off at the mouth. It takes more strength and more self-control to keep your mouth, to keep yourself, to keep from being sarcastic or a hypocrite or popping off at your sister or smart-mouthing your husband, okay?